Today is the Acer Nitro 5 laptop review, and testing is what we're going to do, and we've already tested it anyway, so this is what I'm going to give you my honest opinion and unbiased thoughts, and it's quite funny. First off, number one, Ryzen 3 1300X. This laptop's actually faster than this CPU. Core i7 7700HQ, but that's a laptop CPU, not a desktop CPU, and it was still faster than what this CPU. Obviously this desktop's cheaper, and it's cheaper with a motherboard that you can get to overclock with the brief B350 range. You get the whole point. What I'm saying is, like, I tested this with a GTX 970 and this same amount of cores and threads as this laptop, and this laptop outperformed that, and this was not overclocked and it wasn't that much difference as well towards this laptop. It's really nice. I like the screen. Had it in a sunny day. The screen is non-reflective. It didn't really get it didn't get into my way of whatever I was doing. You can do slight bit of video editing, very minimal, because it's a 1050 graphics card that's in here, and obviously a 7700 HQ laptop CPU, and it's clocked at 2.8 gigahertz. It's also got 8 gigabytes of memory. For an extra £90, you could go and get 16 gigabytes of memory to go into the laptop. The SSD or the NVMe that's in here is not that fast. It's only about 490 megabytes for read and writes, and I thought that was a bit disappointing because I was expecting a lot more faster, or even up to date or old school sort of SSD, which can easily do 550 read and writes megabytes per second. But yeah, other than that, it's pretty stable. I've done all the tests, done a good 3D mark, all the other tests you're going to see in a minute, and then you can compare them to my other videos, which is like the Acer Predators, and there's other laptops on my channel. Link in the description down below anyway. This is £1,000 for this Nitro 5. This is brand new. I think it's pretty good. The sound is really good as well. It's got Dolby sound in it. Obviously it's got DDR4 and it's Kaby Lake and all of that. Even though this is Kaby Lake, this didn't run hot at all. This is the only laptop that I know at the Acer range that I've had. I've had loads of Acer laptops in the past few months, and this does not run hot. It's been going through all the benchmarking and it did not get hot at all. So it'll be decent to put on your laptop if you're a businessman or a business gaming man, whatever you want to be. Take this with you. It's pretty decent. Chiplet keys are really nice. They light up red. You can't get any other colours. There was the keys and kind of highly lit up because it's got red around the outskirts of it, but it doesn't really affect anything. It didn't affect my gameplay. One thing I should say though is when I was using the touchpad, when it comes down to other Acer Predator laptop, found the trackpad to be a bit annoying. So whenever I go to track on something and then click on it with one fingertip, like press, like so you can press anywhere on the actual trackpad, it kept moving like it was a dodgy mouse. So you got a mouse and you click something and it feels like you have to go back there, obviously click until you actually click on it. That's what it felt like. The trackpad, I don't like the trackpad. I felt like the trackpad wasn't that nice. But the whole like aesthetics of the laptop looks really nice. It's got a little Acer logo there shining, and then a Nitro logo. It's like it's taken over from the Predator range, but in a more professional, older sort of look. It's obviously got HD camera there, and then it's got a nice brush sort of feel to the front of the laptop. Really nice. It's just a bit of a finger magnet. You can still take all your stuff out underneath and put your SSDs and your memory in if you want to do it yourself. It's got rubber feet underneath so it doesn't scratch all the actual base of your table or anything like that. Nice breathable holes, and obviously the speakers are in the front and all of that. It just feels really nice. Go onto your laptop, stops the screen from scratching or anything like that. The screen's pretty decent as well. It's 1920 by 1080 resolution, and it come up really clear. It's like new technology comes up when you looked at 4K and then you look at 5K, 6K and 8K, or 720 to 1080. It's like a jump into resolution. It looks really crisp and clear. I like what they've done with the screen. screen. Everything's pretty fast though as well. I'm not having no problems when I'm playing games on it. It feels like I'm playing on a high-end laptop. Now for £1,000 this is pretty decent, and also the screen's IPS, so it's got to be pretty decent for the money. But yeah, it's clocked at 2.8 GHz. You could overclock it a little bit, not the actual CPU but the actual graphics card. If it was a 1050 Ti you'll get more of a bump, and obviously if it had an extra 8 GB of RAM it'd be much faster, much cleaner. But for that price, £1,000, you can't really go wrong. So I would definitely recommend this for like students who like to game, or like game developers, even people that want to not just game and just use it for other things. You can use it for CAD work, not extreme CAD work, not extreme video production or anything like that, but it's really quite useful. So in everyday world, it's good for the internet, it's good for everything else, good for gaming, it's good for pictures and even editing pictures and stuff like that. So we've got 118 gigabytes for the actual local disk C, but we've got a terabyte hard drive as a storage, but the storage is a mechanical hard drive and it's probably running at 54,000 RPM speed, or a maximum 72,000 RPM speed, which means that it's still going to be a little bit more of a bump from 54, but it's still going to be quite slow and to store your games on and stuff like that. But it's still good that you can store stuff on there. For £1,000 I would have hoped for 16 GB, but you have got the top of the range processor, and you also can pay a little bit more money and then go up. But anyway, £1,000 I think is not too bad for the average Joe, or maybe that might be a bit too expensive, I don't know. But from my point of view, for a gaming laptop that looks really nice and professional and everything like that, and won't have any problems, and it doesn't heat up and burn your legs and everything like that, it's not too bad. But let's talk about heat. So when it actually does start to, when you turn it on, it does boost up and everything and like really whiz up. The sound gets quite loud, but it only gets loud for a little bit. So if you're gaming for a number of period of hours on here, it will be noticeable, or highly noticeable. It's not like the Predator where you can turn it down and stuff like that, but I'm sure you can because it has got that technology, cool boost technology, so I suppose you can do it on here. But yeah, other than that, it is pretty good. The wireless is really far. You can go like quite far distance and connect to the internet. It's really good. But anyway, if you like this sort of content, you should really subscribe, because if you subscribe you might find out about other laptops I'm doing. Okay, anyway, subscribe, share, like, follow me on Instagram, Facebook, because why not? And other people, oh yeah, what I was going to say, subscribers. So I'm nearly at 10,000 subscribers. What we should do is highly get me up to 10,000, and then when we get 10,000 we'll keep pushing, keep making better content, more better content, because I notice everyone's asking me loads of questions, and I'm going to have to do a Q&A soon, because the amount of questions you ask, it's like you give me paragraphs like this, like little essays, and it's like I can't really answer just in a comment section, because as soon as I answer it you're asking me another question, someone else is asking me another question. So what I'm going to do is do a Q&A and then ask people what they want to ask me, and then just do it like that. It's just going to be so much easier. Anyway, this is the review of the Nitro 5 Acer laptop. See ya, I'm off.